You know what I don't like? I don't like when people pee and tell you it's raining, right? I don't like people who hide the truth in order to get ahead, who just lie, right? And with this whole Shedeur Sanders situation, we got a lot of lies. One other thing I also don't like is that 90+% of y'all are watching my videos and y'all ain't hit that subscribe button, man. Stop playing with your boy, man. Hit that subscribe, man. I know y'all are repeat watchers. Smash that subscribe button. And if you can't do that, if that's too much work for you, at least get my likes up so that other people who actually subscribe show some love. We close to 2K. Let's go. Road to 2K. Let's talk about it, though. All right? Let's talk about Mr. Chris Carter on his show, Fully Loaded podcast, which is actually very, very good, where he obviously talks football and talks other things. And I really salute this one because he is one of the few media guys, right, who's breaking down systematically and properly why Shedeur was not drafted. And even me, I'm gonna take some accountability. I was wrong at first. At first, I thought this was very racial in nature. But over time, the truth came out. And this is the truth. Let's listen to the Hall of Famer. Let's go.
All right. So what happened with Shedeur Sanders?
Well, a number of things happened. The number one thing that didn't happen was there was not a collusion message with the NFL owners.
Okay. What? Okay. A lot of people think that.
Because they wouldn't be able to keep a secret like that. And
so they might do it, but they couldn't shut up about it.
They wouldn't be able to shut up about it. But every owner is very, very selfish. Now, why would I do something to my detriment? Like if I need a quarterback and I think this kid is it, what he didn't realize is the guys that have fallen in the draft before, they all had unusual traits. Like they had some superstar qualities to them. Now, some other things happened that made them fall, but Shedeur and his family, they overplayed their hand. Them thinking that he was in the same evaluation mode as Eli Manning, they didn't play that right. Them trying to narrow the teams that he was going to go to, that didn't do right. Not working out the
So I'm just going to pause it right there. And this makes me think about Jalen Carter, right? So a few years ago, Jalen Carter was drafted by who I think the best GM in the league is, Howie Roseman, right next to Eric DeCosta. Baltimore Ravens stand up. Let's flock. Jalen Carter was going to be a number 1 overall pick in the draft, right? But Jalen Carter, I think a few months before the draft, got involved in a car accident where I think he almost unalived a woman. Or maybe that woman passed away. I'm not too sure. The clear thing is Jalen Carter was the best player in the 2023 NFL draft. He fell, but he fell to number 9. Why did he fall to number 9? Because he is one of the most talented D-ends in the entire league. The man is 24. He's 24, and he is probably the best D-end, D-tackle, in the entire league. 24. Unusual talent. And what happened is the media made Shedeur out to be better than he was. Now, is it untrue that Shedeur is very talented? It is not untrue. Shedeur is very talented. But is he talented enough to surpass and be a first-round quarterback? I think that the media lied to us and said he was. But was he a round 2 or late round 1? Absolutely. But here you have Chris Carter explaining other reasons why he was not drafted higher as he was supposed to. Let's go.
Combine, that wasn't the right thing. His interview process, obviously he could have done a lot better in that. A lot of people left that meeting, felt he was very, very entitled.
Which meeting? Like, because they said Brian DeBall, Giants coach, had said he didn't like the meeting. He asked him, he had some book, was his playbook or something he was supposed to know, and he said he felt weird about it. I don't know who else said they didn't like the meeting with him. Or were just people behind the scenes saying they did?
Well, the thing about it, they didn't draft him.
I know that.
So it's not the tape. And he likes guys to be a little more open before he lets it go. And he doesn't have a big-time arm. He's not a big guy. He's not overly athletic. So his measurables are not, say, first-round measurables. But he played football like a first-rounder.
But his tape's first-round tape. But his measurables are not first-round measurables.
Well, you don't play football all the time. You're a human being the rest of the time. And how you're going to be in the locker room, how he already came up with this line of merchandise, legendary, like he's already calling himself legendary. All those things are problems. Right now, he's working check to check, man. Like, he's not going to get a big signing bonus. There's not going to be a big guarantee. Any day they want to get rid of him in the week, they can get rid of him.
Don't we think Shedeur is smart enough to know he's not?
That's a great point by Chris Carter. That's a fantastic point. And that's something that I've kind of been driving on for the past few videos regarding Shedeur, is that Shedeur Sanders, again, his tape shows that he is a lower first round, upper second round quarterback. But his personality and the other things that go along with being a quarterback, or at least the other things that the evaluators wanted to see, did not translate towards him being selected as high as he was meant to be. Give you a great example. Another guy who actually has first round intangibles, first round physical attributes, but does not have the tape with Shedeur Sanders, but got picked before, way before Shedeur Sanders, is a guy like Jalen Milroe. Jalen Milroe, I promise you, had great interviews with the Seahawks. I promise you, Jalen Milroe had very, very good other attributes and presented himself in a way that Mike McDonald liked from the Seahawks. Right? And I said this before, and I'm going to keep saying it again. I think Jalen Milroe is going to be the starting quarterback in Seattle by week 5. I do not believe in Sam Darnold. Let's go.
Not at Jackson State, and he's not at Colorado?
No.
You don't think so?
I listened to too many of his answers. I saw too many of the outtakes. I saw too many times he was working out with other players, and he said things that I thought were highly questionable for my franchise quarterback.
So like what?
When he was working out with Cam Ward, him and Cam Ward, the number one pick.
Yeah.
Hey, man, you want to cut a rap video together? No, I want to be known as a football player.
And he's like, what do you do for fun? He's like, I play football.
Why wouldn't you sit down with people? And something these kids never understand, even if you're a top 10 pick, you're in the NFL for a long time. Yeah. So your interview, your tape, people in the room that see you, someone can like you in the room. They might not draft you. 5-10 years later, man.
You're looking for a guy, you're looking to trade, and they remember your interview.
Yes.
The interview you had.
It's a small world. This whole thing with Deion and the media and everything, like, it's out of control. Like, it did not help him. It helped him make money.
Before he gets on about the media, this is maybe the small argument that could lead itself to the collusion deal. What Chris Carter said a second ago is, people are going to remember that interview, right? And that is, it's a small world, especially the NFL world. And I believe what happened, and this could lead into the collusion argument, is that because Shedeur had no agent, I believe Deion Sanders was the agent, at least he was acting like that, and because he had, at least when reports are saying, such a bad interview with the Giants, and there's even a theory out there that Shedeur sandbagged, meaning he sabotaged his own meetings because he was expecting to go to Pittsburgh with pick 21. There's a chance that these GMs and scouts heard those reports. See, there's communication that goes out to the public that we get, I get, that we be talking about. But then there's communications on the back end. There's scouts and GMs and coaches who go have beers. You know what I mean? There's individuals who text each other and call each other. And within the evaluation process, I promise you these GMs talked or at least said something. And that led to a further downing of Shedeur on their boards, or even removing Shedeur from their draft boards. I promise you, the Raiders had maybe 7 chances to draft Shedeur. They didn't go. Giants had several chances to draft Shedeur. They didn't go. Steelers, the same thing. Several chances until the Cleveland Browns bit the bullet. And I think it was the owner who pushed it. Again, I don't know, but I think the owner pushed it more than Andrew Berry and Stefanski. Let's go.
In college because he got followers, but it actually hurt him as far as him getting a job as an NFL quarterback.
You mean as Shedeur? His social media stuff with Shedeur?
Yes.
It hurt him.
Yeah. What else hurt him?
I know you've
let me tell you what he understands today.
Okay.
He ain't running shit. Okay?
Yeah.
Let me tell you what. They taught him a great lesson.
Okay.
Like, you don't have this figured out. Your dad don't have this figured out.
Who's they? NFL?
Shedeur?
The world? No, who taught you? Said they taught him. I'm just curious. Like,
well, the system.
The system. Okay,
There's a system out there, man.
Okay.
Like, you're going for a job interview. So for his job interview, he was so concerned about.
See, there you go. And another great point by Chris Carter. I don't believe this was racism. I don't believe this was collusion, really. I believe this is called the NFL showing that nobody's bigger than the program. In the black community, we have that saying, don't be bigger than the program. No one is bigger than the shield. And, Shannon Sharp, I'm going to keep it real, he thought he was bigger than the program. So much so that he started dealing with an OnlyFans 19-year-old succubus who was using them for money. And he thought he was bigger than the program and was letting her run-ish, so much so that the program was leading to him being extorted out of $50 million, because it's extortion, y'all. Let's just keep it real. It's extortion. But he thought he was bigger than that program. And there were clips, multiple clips, of not only Monique saying, yo, bro, you got to settle down with an older woman. You know what I mean? Or you got to start dealing with black women, because white women have been known to accuse black men of certain things, whether true or not, and black men have lost more than money, more than millions. Emmett Till done lost his damn life. So he thought he was bigger than that program. Well, there's something called FAFO, called F around and find out. It is what it is. Chris Carter is saying this, right? And the fact that he's saying this on his podcast, unfortunately, there's a lot of cowardice from the media and from people around Shedeur's circle, or people more specifically around Deion's circle, that did not communicate this message. So Shedeur thought he was bigger than the program. And the Shield told him, nah, you're not. They just did this to Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick thought he was bigger than the program. They kicked him out. Is it a racism thing? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't stand by that. I think it's more of an attitude and personality thing. When you think you bigger than the program, that's what happens. Let's get it.
Oh, what his outfit was. His necklace was over $100,000. Like, he hadn't even convinced people that you're the face of our franchise. Matter of fact, he had convinced people that they were better off going in a different direction, even with people who had lesser talent. That's the rub he put on the people.
If that's the case, that's a bad interview, bro.
No, it is the case. He didn't get drafted right. It's no speculation. Like, we're through the draft. We're through 3 days. He threw away at least $30 to $50 million. At least.
Wow. And that's how the clip ends. By the way, credit to Fully Loaded YouTube show. That's the truth, man. And I really appreciate Chris Carter for saying that. And this is the thing. I think Chris Carter probably thought that in the past and maybe didn't vocalize it, but that was a perfect explanation of what happened. Right? But the thing is, you have to understand that, and I got this from Nick Wright. Shout out Nick Wright. Different positions demand different personalities, right? So if Shedeur was a wide receiver and had said these things or acted in this manner, it's almost expected, right? But when you're a quarterback, the leader of a franchise, of a team, and your name is literally at the front door of the arena, it's a different responsibility, a different metric. And that example of Cam Ward, saying Cam Ward has no other hobbies other than football, that's what a GM wants. That's what an owner wants to see. That's what a coach wants to see, because they're going to invest potentially $300 million in your first contract, right? They're gonna invest 60 to 65 million. I think the average is gonna go 65 million in 2 years. They're averaging 65 to 70 million dollars on you yearly. That's not the attitude, or at least the things they wanted to hear. And unfortunately, Shedeur Sanders does not have the skills to warrant that type of cocky attitude. His father does. His father's the greatest corner of all time. It's him and Darrelle Revis. So that's what destroyed Shedeur's chances, and that's why he went and became a fifth rounder instead of a late first, early second like he should have been. Get in the comments, man. Longer video than I expected. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. I'm rocking with y'all. Am I right? Am I wrong? Is Chris Carter wrong? All right, get in the comments. Let me know. I'm out.